Hey guys, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another episode of Achieving Perfection. This is going to be for the Great Tournament, and then this will be for the white, red, and black node, so the night node. Per the usual, I'm going to show off the decks that I would suggest, and then I will also go ahead and explain some deck building suggestions if you can't make the decks. So, I would go with something like this if you don't have as big of a collection. And if you do have more cards at your disposal, aka March of the Multitudes, then I would go ahead and use something more like this. Okay, let's check out the node and get into the nitty-gritties. Our node, Chivalrous Tournament, says, buffering, the indestructible support is when a buffed creature you control attacks, your knight cards gain 2 mana. All right. And then for the node itself, you win the fight. Army, summon 5 or more knights, soldiers, or warriors. Striker, deal 12 or more damage during a single turn. Okay, we can honestly kind of sort of pretend that Striker doesn't exist because you're going to deal that 12. If you don't, put some stronger cards in your deck. No, but really, you should be able to do it. All right. For the first deck, Gideon. Everyone should have Precinct Captain, or almost everyone. So this is a card that is an event reward. This dude is a 4/4 with double strike, so it's going to be swinging for 8, and whenever it deals combat damage to the opposing planeswalker, it's going to create a lifelink soldier. So every time it attacks, it's going to make 2 lifelink soldiers, which means that because it is a soldier, as long as you get Precinct Captain in to hit twice, then you're going to have completed your soldier objective. And in hitting twice, that's also going to go ahead and make 4 tokens, and those 4 tokens plus the 8 that it's going to do as damage is a total of 12 damage, and that's going to achieve the secondary objective too. So Precinct Captain is a card that everyone should have, and will help you with completing this almost by itself. Court of Calling is going to make it easier for you to get the Precinct Captain, so you use this, you get Precinct Captain, and then you start wailing on your opponent. I should add, this is another one that I did for both decks, extensive testing in the training grounds to make sure there were no bugs. I did not encounter any bugs with this, so hopefully this works out well for you. Gem Converters. We've got the common Idyllic Grange. This is going to convert to white, and then it's going to permanently buff a creature you control. The permanent buff is going to help you with that damage, and Gateway Plaza is just going to convert gems. If you have it, Gideon's Phalanx is great. This makes 4 knights. They've got vigilance, so they're going to block, they're going to kill things. It's going to make it so it's a lot easier to achieve your objective. Gideon's Phalanx is a great card for this. Consecrate is amazing as removal. Ignore the first side. You basically don't want to use that ever. I mean, there are times, but you basically don't want to use that ever. You want to use Consume. It's 9 mana. Destroy the first creature your opponent controls with the greatest power. Then gain life equal to that creature's power. So between destroying a creature and gaining life, this is great for a tempo swing. Gideon's Triumph is a really nice way of killing creatures. It's just a support, goes down, kills creatures when they attack. Really powerful. Knight of Autumn, we've taken a look at already. Disenchant, this is going to be further support removal. True Fire Captain is going to give us another creature with double strike to just ensure that we get that damage objective met, and additionally counts as a knight. So if you go with something like this, really just rely on that Precinct Captain Court of Calling to get it, and you should be fine. Fill it out with removal, and you win. You can use Gideon's abilities to buff up the captain and achieve your objectives even more quickly. Now, if you have more at your disposal, and you're able to make this, March of the Multitudes completes both of your objectives with 1 casting, because it makes a 12/12 soldier, and that's 12 soldiers, so that completes the summon the soldiers, knights, warriors piece. And on top of that, the 12/12 is going to achieve the deal 12 damage. I'm running Killer Instinct here with Tristani and Cavalier of Thorns. Killer Instinct is going to give me Tristanis. The Tristanis are going to play 2 soldier tokens when they come out, as that is fixed. That works properly. It's also going to fetch Cavalier of Thorns, which is going to fetch me more lands, which is going to make my deck more consistent. And that land being Surprise, Surprise, Gingerbread Cabin, and Surprise, Surprise, supported with Nissa's Pilgrimage. For additional card draw to make the deck more consistent, I'm throwing in Finale of Revelation. You can also go ahead and throw in stuff like Days Undoing or things of that nature, and that'll be fine. The Great Aurora is my board wipe, and Death Sprout is a kill spell that's also going to be getting me the cabin. Now, if you don't have this stuff, what can you do for yourself? You go to your cards. The way that I'd actually go ahead and suggest doing this is you're going to either want to go, you're either going to want to go for knights or you're going to want to go for soldiers. Those are your best way of going about this, right? So you'll notice that I did not actually put in the, I didn't specify that this had to be a creature because there are spells that create knights such as Gideon's Phalanx. If you did wind up getting the Circle of Loyalty and you don't have cards that can make this come down more easily, don't use it. This card is actually pretty weak, so I would not use it. All right, go ahead, go through your knights, see what you have that's going to make knight tokens, right? That's really what you want to get to is what do you have that's going to make knight tokens? There are things like Knight of the White Orchid that is going to convert gems, that's pretty solid. Just like before for other events that required Knight summoning, Conclave Guildmage is great for this. So it's got that activate 2 white, create 2 Vigilant Elf Knight tokens. So that's pretty good. And then other than that, they've made some new things that are knights that make tokens. But you just go through what you have and make sure that you've got things that will make knight tokens for you. Okay? That's your big winner chicken dinner piece. Assure here is pretty solid. This is going to create 3 knight tokens. So if you've got that one, that was good. The soldiers are the other one, right? So soldiers, there's a lot of cards that make a bunch of soldier tokens. So this one's really not too bad. Murder Investigation, I'm not particularly fond of. I would not rely on that one. March of the Multitudes is great. Finale of Glory, if you can make it so that you just get the Vigilant Soldier tokens, that works. Oof. Hasda Marshal, this one is another one that's going to create a bunch of soldier tokens. So this one's a pretty solid option too. You can run it in conjunction with the captain. Fencing Ace is a decent soldier that's got double strike. You can buff it up. Make sure you complete that damage objective. Amara is another one that's going to be able to create soldier tokens. So it creates 3 at a time with activations. And then other than that, there's a few other little ones, but those are really the ones that I would look out for, right? Tristani, who is ridiculous, and Precinct Captain. Now, you're going to need to make sure that you put in some kind of decent removal. Fortunately, white has a lot of removal at its disposal, so if we just go with white and go ahead and go with destroy, we've got a lot of things in here right now, especially things that are like common, uncommon level. Mortify is a pretty solid option. It's going to destroy creatures. Planar Cleansing works as a board wipe if you would like, so that one is perfectly decent. We've got Consecrate's flip side, Consume. That one's pretty good. And then, although I did not put it in, ding, we've got Gideon's Triumph, which is also pretty solid for that. Hixus, of course, is a pain in the rear. You could throw Hixus in, but go ahead. Make sure, oh yeah, Conclave Tribunal. I love this card too. It exiles. But make sure that you've got some decent removal for your creatures. You've got the creatures that are going to produce tokens or spells that produce tokens. That's really going to be the way to go here. If you can find some way to also get some card draw, so if you can splice in another color, that's really going to be the way to go. You really don't have a whole lot of great options for card draw here. So Emergency Powers is pretty good, honestly. And then that's it. Like that's really it. So, yep. I hope this helps you go perfect. I hope you attain that perfection, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good one.